at the time when Gerald Miller fought him. Gerald Miller is goes by the alias Gerald Big Baby Miller, 18-0-1 with 16 KOs. When he had fought Fred Consi was a hot name. I first heard of Fred Consi when he had fought Amir Mansour, and it was like the knockout of the year, crazy ass knockout. Then he went on to have that fight against Chris Arreola, in which Chris Arreola got the draw, and that was kind of like it was a win for Fred Consi, but a loss for Arreola. And many feel that Arreola should have lost that fight, but because he was Arreola, he got the majority decision. Then he got called up by Dominic Brazil. Then he went overseas to fight Hughie Fury, and then he fought Gerald Big Baby Miller. So you see the trend of when he fought Gerald Big Baby Miller, which was his last fight. By the time Gerald Miller steps into the ring against Gerald Washington, who is 18-1-1 with 12 KOs, it'll be nearly a year since he's fought. And in 2016, he fought 3 times. So, it was said, or it's been put out there that he was having some promotional issues. So I'm hoping that that is taken care of. So I'm hoping that now he can stay active, because it's looking like he's fighting for a ranking. Gerald Washington's last fight was against Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder's comeback fight after the injury he suffered by fighting Chris Arreola in his hand. Where now his right hand is bionic. But also remember that fight, how can I feel it was a little bit of an early-ish stoppage, but whatever, it's in the past. And many felt that Gerald Washington didn't deserve the fight anyway. So looking at the heavyweight division, Gerald Washington is ranked at the very bottom of the WBC to be able to win a title, which is number 15, or to fight for a title. The WBA, he is not ranked, but Gerald Miller is ranked number 7. In the IBF, Gerald Miller is ranked number 7 as well, and Gerald Washington not ranked. And then by the WBO, well, Gerald Miller is ranked number 6. So this is a win that's going to get Gerald Miller maybe 1 or 2 fights at most away from a mandatory spot, especially if he, maintains, staying active. And there's like this Game of Thrones situation going on with the heavyweight division, and I can run it down really quick as I can, where you have Anthony Joshua sitting at the top. Deontay Wilder's under a lot of heat because people are like, yo, we don't want to see you fight Bermane Stiverne again, even though it's a mandatory rematch. You got Dylan White, who's trying to get the Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay Wilder knows that because of his Showtime contract and Anthony Joshua, that he's going to get that Anthony Joshua fight. All he's got to do is hold on to his belt because Anthony Joshua was tied up at the time. So it's looking like on Deontay Wilder's side, that's what it looks like, is that he's trying to get some easy touches, until he gets to, what's going to be a mandatory fight against Anthony Joshua. You have Joseph Parker, who Deontay Wilder was trying to get to because they feel he's the weakest of the heavyweight champions, and that way Deontay Wilder could have captured if he would have won against Joseph Parker. Because remember, we're still finding out who Joseph Parker is. We're still finding out. So he's fighting Hughie Fury in September, and basically Frank Warren, the promoter or co-promoter, right, or the main promoter of Hughie Fury wasn't trying to allow Joseph Parker to fight Deontay Wilder, or Deontay Wilder to get his hands on that situation, on that belt, or to try to. Then you got guys like Vladimir Klitschko, who was just waiting and surveying shit, looking like, damn, I almost beat Anthony Joshua, and if I beat him, I'll be back at the top of the hill again. So let me, really, really decide if I want to continue to fight. You have Luis Ortiz, who's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? I've been like the WBA mandatory for a long ass time right by now. So it's like the heavyweight division, it has like a lot of storylines behind it. You look at a guy like Kubrat Pulev, right, who's like, all right, let me see if Anthony Joshua beat Klitschko again. Give me my step-aside money, and I'll see how that plays out. Because Pulev is the next mandatory. You have a guy like poor Shannon Briggs, who was in the mix. Him and Lucas Brown and Fresno Quindo. Fresno Quindo still kind of in the mix. You have Lucas Brown and Shannon Briggs, who are in the mix, right? But, well, no, Shannon Briggs is not anymore. He was in it, But now with that failed drug test, it's like, you know, he out the mix now. You know, so it's got to be a hurtful situation. What other names am I missing? So those names I mentioned, Deontay Wilder, and Bermain Stavern. You know, him and Don King, like, no, we want that WBC title. You know, because they know that that's going to lead them to Anthony Joshua and big money. And they'll probably gladly go over to the UK. So even if Deontay Wilder and Dylan White come to an agreement, they still got to give, they still would have to give Bermain Stavern some type of like major money. But him and Don King saying they don't want no money. Because maybe what had happened is if he takes that step aside money and Deontay Wilder and Dylan White happen, then the WBC would order likely Bermain Stavern versus Luis Ortiz for the WBC interim. Then the winner be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder again, you know, and Dylan White. And then basically, like I said, it's a boxing Game of Thrones shit going on. So I'm in the loop. I know exactly what's going on. You know, so I need to sit down one day and do a long-ass video, you know, and maybe put together a fucking PowerPoint presentation to let y'all know, like, how that shit is all broken down. You know? My back has been killing me. That's why I'm sitting like this. I got to get one of those fucking things to put in the back of the chair. You know, like, what is it? Like, they made us like a gel pad. Like, sitting at this desk all day, man. You know, it's hard on the back. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. I got Gerald Big Baby Miller. Because he's just overall a more experienced fighter in regards to, you know, Gerald Washington used to be a football player or something. You know, I'm not saying that he don't got no nice hands, but it's just that I'm going with Gerald Miller for this fight. So I'm going to be there. I'm actually going to interview both of these guys and talk to them. You know, during fight week. Crazy, right? I forgot. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live.